Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Pinball FX2. It's really hard to read that too. I can't believe that they really let it go like that. The flaming 2 can barely even make it up. Anyways, last time we played Moon Knight and a fine table, good table, just ultimately hurt by the fact that I don't really know enough about Moon Knight. Nor do I kind of think Moon Knight is even that interesting of a character, at least in this variation when this one came out. I think maybe in the years past the point this table was created, Moon Knight got some more interesting story to it, but yeah. After about 30 minutes, not knowing the character, not really enjoying what I was seeing, it's hard to stay even with a good table. Now we're going to do Star Wars The Clone Wars. Let's see. Last time was Emperor Episode 5, which, if I remember correctly, was alright. Pretty good, actually. Even. Not as good as Darth Vader, I don't think, but Clone Wars is and was a very popular cartoon series, so let's hop into it. It has a good chance of being good. So the achievements are fight the Sith and complete all the main missions. Nope, that's not gonna happen. Purge the galaxy by defeating both Sith Lords of the Clone Wars. That's probably not gonna happen either. Let's begin. So, one of the things that I think the Clone Wars introduced and Rebels probably went even further with is having some modern CG animation, bright colors, and it not looking bad.
A galaxy divided.
Wow.
Striking
Why haven't they
after
done
the
this
Battle of
before?
Geonosis, Count Dooku's droid army has seized control of the major hyperspace lanes, separating the Republic from
So,
the majority of
this
its
is
clone army. With
like
few
between
clones
the
available,
second and
the
third
Jedi
movie or
generals
the
cannot
third
gain
or
a
the
foothold
fourth
in the Outer
movie?
Rim, as more and more planets choose to join Dooku's separatists. While the Jedi are occupied fighting a war, no one is left to keep the peace. Chaos and crime spread, and the innocent become victims in a lawless galaxy.
See, by voicing this, by having this happen, like the movies, you've just introduced the young players, the kids, into the story. You've made it so easy to kind of understand. Already I can look at the table and I have to make that same statement. I make every single table almost. Way too many ramps. Way too many ramps. There's some pop-up bumpers back there. There's a cross shot to a sinkhole. There's another sinkhole shot. There's a multi-ball lock. There's a slightly distracting speeder bike on the slingshot. That slingshot seems oddly curved too. So the paint and the art on the tabletop actually doesn't look as good as I think the cartoon probably does. There's a very long ramp up there on the left. There's this pretty long ramp in the center. There's a starship above the pop-up bumpers that's a diverter between a couple different places, it looks like. And I think Dooku is the guy in red there. And I think we've seen everything we need to see. Maybe there's a spinner over there on the left, lower left-hand corner. Or maybe that's just a hologram. Let's turn on to our favorite View 4, launch, and see what happens. So, you have these two characters, and then that are humanoid looking, and then there's this orange character, which adds something new to it, because when you think about Star Wars, it is humanoid characters 90% of the time. And it would be nice if they
Ball saved.
if they put some more emphasis on some of the other characters. Yes, they're in the original movies. You have Yoda and Chewbacca, but none of those people could possibly have gotten the majority of the
Skill shot.
the majority of the screen time because it would have just taken too much. There's far too many brightly colored lightsabers here of all different colors, and that's, I think I already know how this is gonna go down. I think I'm gonna lose every single time. Those brightly colored lightsabers are super distracting, even though they are slightly helpful, because if they're pointing in the right direction, which they may very well not be, they might be pointing in a good way to try to get the ball to shoot with the cross shots. So spell clone to get kickbacks, hit the bumpers for kickbacks, multiplies by getting up there. I can't even see the R2-D2 rollovers that are up there. It's pointing directly at him, I can't see it. So that's a mistake in art direction. Hit these side targets here, I'll never get that. To get the extra ball. Hit ramps like crazy to get combos. Hit the T6 5 times to get the multi-ball. Clone multi-ball by hitting that. Gunship, hurry up by spelling gunship. Wow. Yeah, and gunship is what, a 7-letter word? No, yeah, 7. So you have to spell that. Liberation only requires 5, which is a lot easier. Point, rain, that sneaking, target, training by doing like this, cancel by doing like that. So when we start a mission, we'll get this like laser thing. To win this battle, you have to destroy the energy shield generator from the inside. To do that, you have to obtain bombs and plant them on the generator to blow up. And then you have to purge the city of the remaining battle droids. So does that shield keep the ball only in that area? I bet it doesn't. And then Cloak of Darkness seems to just be shooting down, what is that? Is that a ramp that just like you jump up? Let's see what it says. I have no idea what that is. Weapons Factory do that. Attack on Camino. And the monster. This guy just shows up and you hit him, I guess. So it doesn't seem like that many missions at all. And this is weird how it kind of just explodes the ball. Mini skill shot. What's the
multiplier increased? Fall save activated.
So maybe I should change the camera angle, but we can see the top left flipper already looks like it's gonna be in the way a lot of times. The top right, not so much because it's kind of hidden behind stuff. I can't make the usual complaint that the lower playfield is empty here. There's actually a decent amount of stuff that's right on the edge of the lower playfield, at the very least. The problem that is that it's effectively split the table into 2 playfields. One very awkwardly and badly made upper playfield and that you have to try to get cross shots in, and the lower playfield where the things you're shooting for won't even really help too much. It seems like I could be wrong about that. Man, it's sometimes difficult.
As those who see time.
There was a little Yoda, whatever he was saying, I didn't hear it clearly. even though this effectively is, no, it wasn't Disney animation yet, but it's like the top of the line CG animation you could do for a cartoon
One giant leap
at the time.
needs 2 steps back.
Yeah,
Block is late. Ball saved.
it's not like a ton of cartoons got made
Multi-ball
before
ended.
that. Frankly, when the Clone Wars came out, it was also pretty much right around the end of Saturday morning cartoons in general. And they still exist, certainly,
Amazing.
but nobody's really trying to make any new ones, and half of them are Pokemon or from Japan and some other thing, so maybe Yokai Watch is on Saturday morning cartoons, but I bet it isn't. I bet it just goes straight to Cartoon Network these days, and Cartoon Network is super interested in making their own things with CG animation, but they don't do it at a highly ambitious rate like this. They'd rather do comedy shows that don't require action movement. The more action, the more animation in any format. And so they had to probably do a lot of work to do Star Wars right.
Ball saved.
And I think the Clone Wars did it. In a lot of ways, the Clone Wars, I think, saved Star Wars for the next generation completely. Because if it wasn't for the Clone Wars cartoon, I'm not sure
Console is ready to receive
what was the next generation then would have even care about Star Wars enough to have made it to Episode 7. On the other hand, you might be able to make the argument that if they hadn't made the Clone Wars, maybe George Lucas would have decided to sell his control away of Star Wars to Disney quicker, and then we would have gotten Episode 7 3 or 4 years earlier.
Multiplier increased.
I'm not sure I really believe that, though, because even Disney had to kind of prove themselves with the Marvel movies. And look at these pop-up bumpers. That's like the first time we've ever gotten a nice set of hits.
Hurry up, ended.
Like, usually the pop-up bumpers, you hit it 4 or 5 times, that's it. The monster. Let's start with the monster.
Looks like we have a new threat to deal with. Hurry! We have to put an end to this monster.
Darth Maul's brother will be your doom, Skywalker.
Shoot that floating platform.
I assume that these characters are dealing with something on the other side of the galaxy, something far away from where Han and Obi-Wan and all were dealing with everything. That's kind of what the new Disney movies are gonna probably try to cover, some of the background stories that happened in between the movies.
Activated. Kickback.
This guy's just standing here.
At last!
Bless you, brute. Eliminate this Jedi.
So did I just defeat the monster, or
Nice shot.
is there more to this? Did I do phase 1 of 2 phases? I didn't see anything in the instruction talking about 2 phases in the missions. I'm trying to get this shot here, and I am not achieving it. I'm not achieving the shot well at all.
Amazing.
That's the jackpot, so that is what I'm supposed to be
Activated.
shooting. Yeah, there's a rip over here on the right. That I'm supposed to go for now. Missed it.
Kickback.
Come on. There.
Amazing.
Where does it want me to go now? For another jackpot. That'd be nice. I think it wants me to make a cross shot over here.
shot.
There we go.
Right kickback.
One more
Activated.
ramp. We're still doing this mission. I am surprised we're still doing
Awesome.
this mission. Another jackpot. Alright, now I'm going for the right ramp. Over here, it's switching around on me. But as long as I keep the ball in play, I guess I'm fine. It doesn't seem like there's a timer on this. And thank goodness for missions that don't have timers. Just give me all the time I need to make that shot. That it severely limits your ability to practice playing pinball if there's a timer that only gives you 30 seconds to make certain shots. But I suppose you can fictionalize that.
I hope we don't see him again for a long time.
Kick back.
So we got it. One mission finished. 5 more or 4 more to go, I think. I didn't watch the Clone Wars cartoon. I was a little too old. But everything I hear is it's great. And Rebels looks to be as good as Clone Wars. Can Disney continue that thing and every 5 years do 5 seasons of a really good Star Wars cartoon? That would be ideal for them, particularly if they got it on the Disney Channel instead of Cartoon Network. That is something that was slightly disappointing. When I was a kid, you didn't get the Disney Channel on extended cable, which most people have.
Complete the target practice to advance to the next level.
Extended cable. If you have more than I'd say 30 channels on cable, you have extended cable, which isn't the highest level of cable by far, of course. It's just something more than what they would call basic cable, which is their lowest package available. And man, do they have a lot more packages back nowadays compared to what they had when I was a kid. But anyways, there was no Disney Channel was like HBO. You had to pay, I think, around $10 extra a month just for Disney Channel. And it was certainly a different channel back then too. Probably worth it a little bit more than it is today. So, as soon when they started giving Disney Channel as part of just a regular cable package, I'm like, oh well, the number of things with cartoons on it compared to when I was a kid at any point during the day has probably quadrupled. There's like probably 4, maybe even 5 channels on my cable package right now. Yes, I know I still pay
Transport as many
for
troops
cable.
as you can to Point
Trying
Rain on
not to,
Geonosis.
but issues. So these are ramps.
Right
Okay.
kick back activated.
Good to know. So we're trying to jump up on this right jump. And if the ball just gets stuck, it's just going to curve.
Kick back.
I thought I lost the ball there.
Move the ship to the center.
But see, the weird thing about that whole thing, about the fact that there's way more
Quickly,
cartoons
move the ship to the left.
and
Hurry up. Move the ship
way
to the
more,
right.
way more things to watch. Really, kids watch none of it. They're on the YouTubes more than anything else, and nowadays the new generation probably won't even
Move the
fully
ship to the center. The ship's been hit.
understands
Kick back.
sitting in front of TV passively and not being able
Also,
to fast forward or having to
kick
watch
back
commercials.
activated.
Troopers have been transported.
Lots of commercials like TV has. Shield is at 67%. Oh man, come on,
Kick
I had
back.
that.
Hurry up. Move the ship to the right.
So this is a difficult mission here. Because you have to move the thing around left and right. I wonder how long I've been playing. If I have like 72 million, I'm already at the highest high score I've ever had. But am I playing a really great game here? Or is it just that this is a Clone Wars is a kid's show and thus they made a kid's table? I kind of wish they had made them all kids' tables. That would be a consideration I would argue for. If I was going to make a Pinball FX3, I'd say we need a kids' table or an easy mode on every single one of them. I think, though, I could make the better argument instead of making a kids' table on easy mode, just have a practice mode where you're non-stop giving balls and the game never ends. Just call it an infinite mode. Yeah, I've been playing for 21 minutes and we're at 70 million. It's a ridiculously high amount of points. Seems going up that ramp is slightly difficult. Keep these balls.
Are made by the time.
Gunship, hurry up! Ball saved. Multi-ball ended.
The ball was saved and yet the multi-ball ended. Come on, make up your mind, game.
Left kickback activated. The council is ready to receive you.
Certain ramps bounce the ball back when you hit them the first time. That's
Liberation! Hurry up! Hurry up! Ended. Lock is lit.
So there's a couple of flaws
Is a galaxy
with this table, but
Lone multi-ball.
Not,
Ball locked. Ball saved.
not a horrible table so far. I got a really
Nice shot.
decent table there.
Multi-ball ended.
And multi-ball ended really quick. Seems like they tested the angles a little bit better. The fact that I'm
Hurry
getting
up,
these
ended.
really far shots on the right and left is strange. The fact that I'm getting cross shots is strange compared to all the other tables. Either I'm really playing rather well, or they fixed the problems. Cloak of Darkness, Weapons Factory. We'll do Cloak of Darkness.
Isn't the hairless harpy and isn't Skywalker's filthy, obnoxious little pet?
Skywalker.
Kickback.
See, and Skywalker could be like a huge
Kickback
like
activated.
name. There could be Skywalkers all over the galaxy, and then you would just have that slight reference there.
Fantastic.
If it runs in the Force, if the Force runs in them. But then you get back to the same argument they made in Episode 7. People didn't really want to find out that Rey is just related somehow to Luke and Leia. That they can just start a new story with a new set of people. And I kind of agree with that too. Just for the casting issues, it makes less and less sense to have the next generation of people in Star Wars be related
Right kickback activated.
actually genetically to the previous ones, because they're not going to look the same. The older actors from the original series aren't going to be able to make pop-ups like walk-on appearances, so you're going to eventually have to either write them out or kill them. 90 million. That is a heck of a table. And did we already read the table guide. So there's nothing more to do, just keep on playing. This looks, I assume that's an escape pod. And if I could just turn down the brightness on the back boards, the laser lights, If I owned a pinball table like this, I would either consider putting a film or just taking the bulbs out of all of the lightsabers. It is too bright. It's distractingly bright.
What is right? Not what is easy.
What was funny is I was watching somebody on Twitch play pinball, which is kind of a weird thing. And frankly, they weren't even really playing pinball as much as they were talking to people on the chat, as they sometimes play pinball. But that's a separate story. And he had just a webcam taking pictures of the pinball table, which usually works. But he had it either set or there was no setting to adjust for auto brightness. So the table would flicker all its lights as an attention grab, and in the room, that looks fine in a brightly lit room. But putting the camera right next to it, it was blowing out the camera, and so the camera would get dimmer and brighter, and then get dimmer and brighter, and dimmer and brighter over and over again. And I told him, hey, you need to figure out how to fix that. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll see if I can figure out how to fix it. Because it was rather annoying to the camera's eye. I imagine a table like this would have the exact same problem. The camera would have difficulty following and seeing the ball because they would just get so obsessed with the brightness of all the flashing lights. But all you have to do is manually adjust the brightness if you can. Turn it up to whatever your eye likes, and then leave it set that way so it doesn't sit there and change. And you'll at least get halfway there.
Great leaders inspire greatness in others.
I, on a rare occasion, watch people on Twitch play pinball just to watch people playing pinball. But it's not particularly an interesting experience, which is probably a bad thing as I'm recording this for YouTube playing pinball. It's not super interesting. That's why this would never be a series where I would just play all the time. It could be, certainly. I could make a series where I just blog and play pinball, but I just don't think it's that fun, nor do I really think that gives the best feeling of playing real pinball in particular. There's a lot lost not having your fingers on the flippers and all of that. Oh, screwed that up. I like that mini playfield being up there. Could have been under the table, sure, but that works fine too. Come on. Oh, I'm supposed to pick something.
We have to destroy that Geonosian's weapons factory, no
Take
matter
the weapons
what it
factory?
costs. Ahsoka, think you can sneak in and take out its main reactor?
Ahsoka.
You can count on me.
Nope. Can't count on her. Ball out. So, 30 minutes into it. Getting a lot of points. But I'm still kind of dying a little bit more than I would like to. Even finishing missions. But I'm still kind of dying a little too easily. I would really like to see a babies mode pinball. Just something that's almost impossible to lose at.
Heroes are made by the time.
This is the closest one we've seen so far, but it's still possible to drop the ball to
Ball locked.
SO. Like that. There are some old wooden pinball tables that don't even have outlanes. The ball always goes to the flippers, and the only way you can even lose the ball is through the center. And I believe if it's the same table I'm thinking about, One of them even has a center peg. So you practically can't lose.
Needs 2 steps back.
But I imagine in the heyday of pinball, people were playing the tables for way too long. Nowadays, they could go back to that and you wouldn't have that much of a problem. For most of my youth, there was only 2, maybe 3 pinballs in an arcade, and none of the other kids had any interest in playing them. So I could play a table for hours long, and nobody would even be upset about it.
T6 multi-ball. Let's kick back.
Another multi-ball.
Jackpot. Multiplier.
Jackpot.
Increase.
Multiplier. Jackpots. Everything we
Ball
can have.
saved. Multi-ball ended.
If only 3D printing technology had just more advanced, you could probably 3D print a pinball table. Yeah, right. You basically need a Star Trek replicator at that rate. There's so much wiring and mechanical things going on under the table. Plus, even at that rate, you still have to take care of it. Wax the table. Make sure all the bulbs and rubber bands are right. It's like putting together a ship in a bottle and then
Gunship, hurry up.
making sure it doesn't break it in the middle of an earthquake.
T6
I don't know
multi-ball.
where I got that reference, but okay. It's hard to think when you're playing pinball.
Hope is its only cure.
No smart
kickback
statements in multi-ball during
Ball
multi-ball.
save activated. Hurry up ended. Kick back. Lock is lit.
Notice when you do a multi-ball, it is pretty common for the ball to hit one ball and switch places.
Random award. 5 million. Ball saved.
So if one ball is coming downwards, you may hit that one with the one that you're shooting upwards, and
Ball
that.
up.
Did I just get another ball? No, it's still two balls. I think I locked the ball and then it decided to give me another one. So I'm locking a ball for another multi-ball in the middle of a multi-ball. Just keep the balls going.
Gunship, hurry up.
Not hearing any jackpots or super
Random
jackpots.
award. 1 million.
1 million
Multi-ball
award.
ended. The council is ready to receive you.
There we go.
Amazing.
Seems like I can enter training mode.
Liberation, hurry up. This is command.
There we
Complete
go.
the target practice to advance to the next level.
So you're trying to hit the blinking green lights, which don't even really stand out that much. And that would move to the next level. Is there an actual
Hurry up,
another
ended.
table there?
Skill shot.
See, so it just feels like this table is missing
Ball save
something.
activated.
It could use maybe one more gimmick. It could use maybe a stronger main character, because we're hearing the voice, the narrator, tell us a lot of stuff, and we're not getting any real reference to the show. Maybe they made this table during the first season of Clone Wars. I don't know how many seasons Clone
Lock
Wars
is
are.
lit.
Anyways, though, it may have only gone 1-2 seasons. I would have ideally hoped it went 5. 5 is about the right number.
A single chance is a galaxy.
5 seasons, 100 episodes in general. 100 episodes is probably more than enough for a kid to watch before getting bored with it.
Ignore your instincts at your peril.
Ball locked. Clone multi-ball.
Alright, and the camera did not change before it went to the multi-ball. So I'm blaming the camera on that one.
Multi-ball ended.
Transport as many
Wow,
troops as you
all
can
that
to put
work.
rain on Geonosis.
All that work to get the clone multi-ball, and
Right kick
it
back
ended
activated.
in a short amount of time. An extremely short amount of time. 36 minutes into playing. Sadly, this would be just one of those tables that I'm done playing it here. I think part of that is because I didn't watch Clone Wars, so I don't have that nostalgia. Part of it is just because there's nothing too special about this table. We've probably seen a decent percentage of
Ball
it.
saved.
We're dying a little too easily, and I'm feeling that. And a major factor is too, it's just a pain on the eyes. It really is. A change in artwork would be the #1 improvement on this table. Just don't have the lightsabers glowing so bright. Just don't have them glowing at all. Paint them on the table, that's fine. But, and sure, I could go turn down the brightness in the game, and that might help a little bit, but that's only one issue. Too many ramps is still an issue. Hitting that ramp and then getting bounced right back is an issue. It's really easy to fall into the left out lane. Seems obviously there's not really anything that we seem to be able to activate or reach in the upper right side of the table. There's nothing really we're seeing or reaching on the upper left side either. So those two back sections are kind of dull.
Ball saved.
I assume at this point the Clone Wars hologram in the lower left-hand side means nothing. For being called Clone Wars, we're actually not seeing many clones, if any. Which seems a little strange. This is just one of those tables that when you even do keep the ball in play, it's just to get a small amount of score.
Ball saved.
The way the ball save shoots out of the gutter, I never liked that on any table. So them doing it here, it's just more things I don't like. The 3D model on the top left seems to do nothing, just stand there and act as a distraction. I guess it was probably just some people's dismay that the Clone Wars got made, and I don't think it was really based on any of the extended universe books, because for a long time there were these extended universe Star Wars books that explained everything and did, added a ton of backstory, and they've pretty much all been erased and made non-canon, even though I think at some points they were implied to be canon.
For those not blinded by themselves.
And instead they're adding Clone Wars and Rebels, and I guess technically these cartoons are canon, but they really don't have to follow anything. Particularly with episode 7 rebooting everything. You can pretty much take your pick of what you want to keep and what you want to throw out.
One giant leap needs 2 steps back.
One giant leap needs 2 steps back. That doesn't even make sense. I really wish they had done more with the characters here. I really would like to know who these characters are, how they get along, what they accomplished throughout the cartoon series, stuff like that. I feel like Star Wars Rebels had more of that going on in the pinball table. And so between playing the two, I'd much rather go watch Star Wars Rebels as a cartoon series than Clone Wars. I think Rebels probably is an interesting idea because they have a Jedi that's using a slingshot instead of a lightsaber, instead of just doing the same thing over and over again.
Only as good as those who see through.
Ball saved. Multi-ball ended. The council is ready to receive you.
This table has a really nice pop-up bumper section and you can get into it.
Hurry up ended. Kickback activated.
Monster War on Christophos. Let's try this one.
Bad news, Snips. They have an energy shield generator. It's gonna be tough to break through.
Then we'll have to destroy it from the inside.
Alright, so how do we get inside? If we go forward, we hit it. We miss it. So we have to go over this way and then do that.
Bomb
And then
planted.
do that. So it's a true figure 8 motion here. The problem is I've got to get the ball on the left flipper and then up that ramp. Or maybe I could get it on the right flipper. Does this right ramp get in there?
Got the bomb.
Okay, the bomb's planted.
So yeah, either flipper on the outer side will do. Darn it, that won't do though. And how many things did we have to plant? Obviously it was more than 2. I imagine it was 3. I tell you, some of these missions
Complete the
don't
target
feel
practice to
doable,
advance to the
although
next
that
level.
one was probably pretty doable. I would love to be able to play these mini playfields only. That's an easy enough thing to do. Just take that section of your code and say on the
Transport as many troops as you can to
menu,
point rain on
play
Geonosis.
minifield 1, play minifield 2, play minifield 3. Instead of having
Move the ship to the center.
the around the world all-time high score stuff, why not break down some stuff here? 44 minutes. Can I make it to 55 minutes? I'm not even trying to make it to an hour anymore. I haven't for a long time. But and this is one of those tables where, yeah, I could get lucky, and you've already seen me get really lucky
Saved.
and make millions and millions of points. But I don't really want to play it. The joy is just not there. There's too much of the ball going up and down the playfield. There's not enough of some of the other stuff. way too much of that. Is there anything I haven't really seen yet?
Balance is
Probably
found in one who
a
faces
few
his
things,
guilt.
Lock is lit.
but I think I've probably seen close to 80%, 90% of the entire table.
Kickback activated.
Again, trying to get that skill shot, mini skill shot, and then what would the rest of the skill shot be?
Ball saved.
Yeah, there's not really much more to say about this table. I hate when you're in these positions. It's just like, well, we've kind of seen it all. It's kind of dull.
Console is ready to receive you.
I could see people coming back and playing this every now and then, but in general, I don't think I'd really want to play it too often. There's better tables here. Something a little more interesting. At the very least, there are tables where you don't have to sit here and listen to the same Star Wars music yet again. Actually, this isn't the same Star Wars
Ball
music,
saved.
so that complaint is completely invalid. This is new. But you still have to listen to the same music, whatever it is,
Skill shot.
over and over again, and I would prefer to turn that off, but you can turn that off. I wish they were just more subtle about it, really. Have 5, 6,
Trust in your friend,
just general
and they will
music
have
tracks,
reason to trust in you.
and then have the music play for a while, real subtly, then fade out and give you silence for a couple of minutes, and then fade back in. There's a lot of cinematic audio calculation going on here when it should be video game audio scoring. That's the phrase, scoring happening. And if every new table came with a unique
Most
song
powerful is he
based
who
for that
controls his
table,
own power.
then your background radio at that point could expand with each DLC purchase, which then kind of doubles the reason why you might buy a table, just to get some new
Lock
music.
is lit.
Or they could be really nice and let you stream your own MP3s. Although I guess if I wanted to, I could just start
Transport as many troops as you can to Point Rain on Geonosis.
The way these ramps just appear out of nowhere is really
Left
weird.
kickback
They're not
activated.
even trying to
Kickback.
make it seem realistic like a real pinball. Come on. Come on. I knew something like that was gonna happen. And I'm struggling to just go another 5 minutes here. I don't think I'm gonna end up going over on this table. So this is our last game. Whatever happens. Pretty decent table. I think they at the very least were trying here to do good by the Clone Wars. And I think Clone Wars fans will be at least satisfactorily happy about this table. There's things that could definitely be improved. It's almost down to the point where I should grade these tables on a sliding scale, because we've seen so many bad ones that one that's even moderately acceptable feels like a refreshing breath of fresh air.
Activated.
Go. And lost it all. As soon as I start to feel like I'm getting a groove in it. I haven't really been getting much of a groove in any of the tables, to be honest. Few plays we've done on a few tables. We've been able to keep the ball going and kind of known where we were aiming for and where the ball would go, and just really be in that Zen groove of being able to actually control the outcome of the game. But for 99.9% of the time, it's just random. Just keep the ball in play, flip the flipper wherever it lands.
Transport as many troops as you can to Point Rain on Geonosis.
Wherever it lands doesn't matter. Just keep the ball in play. See, I just made that.
Move the ship to the right.
Wasn't in the right place. I lose the ball again. I don't know what training was. We never spelled training. That's an 8-letter word.
Ball saved.
Surprising. Ball saved and ball lost. So, kind of predictable. Because I did predict it at the beginning here. I said, even on that first game, that I was going to lose. I'm surprised I even made it up to 90 million, but even playing a pretty bad game, it's giving me 6 million. So 90 million is probably not that high. That adds to our other table's high scores, which shows how one table's 1 million is completely different from another table's 1 million. But it adds up to almost 2,000 super score, which is nice. So we'll get up to 2 billion on our high scores. We'll multiply that by the 49 tables we've played so far, and that's put me with a wizard score of 95,452. Were we anywhere close on the achievements? No, I do not believe so. Yep. I don't think I'd really come back to that table very often. Maybe once in a while. Unlike some of these Star Wars tables that I know I'd never come back to, I may come back to this one, but not very often. It's just got some problems with it. Here we have 81 billion. Cheater. I mean, downright cheating here. 81 billion for the all-time high score. The next highest score is 15 billion points, which again, cheater. And then number 3 is 1.5 billion, 1.4 billion, all the way to 1.079 billion points. Compared to me, almost 100 million points. I could see somebody playing twice as 10 times as good as me, and then being at a billion. Sure, I could even see somebody playing 20 times as good as me, because that's usually what it feels like, about 20 times. But I can't, for the life of me, think of somebody playing 150 times better than me, or 810 times better than me. That's ridiculous. That's just cheap. And thus the super scores are invalid, and they don't change any. And thus the Pinball Wizard scores are invalid, and they don't change any. And I don't have any friends, so can't do the Pinball King or the challenge. So that's that for 2. No tournaments anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that's the truth because of the dates on it. It's been over a year. Next time we will do Ghost Rider, and I know a little bit about Ghost Rider, so good chance on it being interesting. And then we'll do Shaman, and then we'll do X-Men, and then we'll do Boba Fett, and then we'll do Blade, and then we'll do Tesla, and then we will go back between the 3 remaining Marvels and the 3 remaining core non-licensed tables. And then we will be done with this entire series, and I look forward to that. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.